What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a great hump day. It has been, oh my God, it's been rough. It's been rough. Um, when we went against Baltimore, and maybe we have to look at it from the standpoint of Baltimore has been butter with Lamar Jackson against the NFC, mainly because people don't know how to attack Lamar Jackson. We don't see him enough. There's nobody in the NFC that's like Lamar Jackson. And they were literally on a mission because their season was on the brink. They couldn't start 0-3. And it's still early. So maybe we shouldn't hit the panic button. But, we keep going into this whole thing like, we're a good team, we're supposed to win, we're them boys and everything else. And the reality is this is the NFL. This is the NFL. There are very few teams that go undefeated and very few teams that end up being that they don't get a win, Detroit Lions. That's the way it is. And there's always games that you should have won that you don't, and games that you should have lost that you do. And that's the reality of it. And with it being such a long season, you could start out and be 10-1 and end up being 11-6. You could start out being butt awful and end up being a playoff team that wins the game on the road, bitch slapping America's team. This is football. So maybe I shouldn't panic yet. If we lose tomorrow, then I got to panic. And I'm going to have to say that actually Philly 500 talked me off the ledge a little bit because I was so out of it knowing that I had to go on the Dan Saleo show. Well, hold on. Let me back that up. I don't have to go on the Dan Saleo show. But, I started something and I've got to see it through. I can't be the guy that says, this just gets to be too hard and walk away. I made a commitment and you got to be there through good times and bad. This week was definitely bad, but I'll actually have to say, they weren't on hard on me as I thought they were. I thought literally they were going to go, ha ha, ha ha. Literally, I thought that was how it was going to be. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be for the walk of shame. And I appreciate that. But the reality is we got to find a way to win tomorrow. We have got to find a way to win tomorrow. This is big. But it's funny because I sit here and I think about all of the venom I get about my quarterback. And everybody says, he's a waste of money. He's a waste of money. He's a waste of money, as they say. Yeah, I'm recording my fireside chat. What you need? It's funny because it seems like the first drop pass, everybody comes out to woodwork and talks about why Dak Prescott shouldn't have been paid and why he needs to go and they need to find somebody else. But other quarterbacks out there, they don't. I'm trying to understand why nobody out there said anything that Trevor Lawrence, now some of the comments that he made when he was first drafted, kind of like Mozzie said, where Mozzie said, I really don't like football, I just like the contact. That Trevor Lawrence said kind of those kind of statements himself. And that Trevor Lawrence is tied with Joe Burrow as the highest paid player, second highest in the NFL, who I'm not sure the ink has even dried yet on his contract, that he got $55 million a year with the Jags. And here's where it's crazy. His statistics are worse than Daniel Jones. Think about that for a second. We all say Daniel Jones was stealing money, that they should have never done that. Add another $15 million per year onto Trevor Lawrence, and that's where he is. And he was the number one pick. You know, we always hear that he was a fourth round pick for a reason and stuff. Well, this guy was the numero uno pick. The numero uno pick, which seems to be a snake bitten draft class of quarterbacks. 1, 2, 3. And none of them are doing dick. Justin Herbert's second year was outstanding. 38 TDs, I think, close to 5,000 yards. People said that he was going to be like a perennial all-pro quarterback. Now he seems to be snake-bitten with injuries and not anywhere near that level that people talk about. I'm not even going to get into Deshaun Watson because they're trying to figure out a way they can get rid of that dude. So, as we see all these quarterbacks that are paid a lot of money, I don't hear anybody criticizing them. You know, Jalen Hurts, he got paid last year. Now, granted, they made a great move by getting Saquon Barkley. Gotta say, you know, Howie Roseman may have gotten the prize of free agency. But when you look at Jalen Hurts, who's got 4 interceptions and a fumble, that we're 3 games this season, he's already got 5 turnovers, and he is the turnover king since last year, more turnovers than anybody else. You kind of look at that and say, if that were Dak Prescott, oh my God, we'd be killing him. We literally had last year them counting interceptions in practice. But now that Dak Prescott isn't doing those, it's like nobody else has turnovers. Have you noticed that? And that's what's crazy. But I guess because you are the quarterback of America's team, you're going to get that. It's a big week. You got the Giants and us. We are battling not to be the basement bitch. One of us, the way the season looks, it looks a whole lot better from 2-2 than from 1-3 in the basement by yourself. You got the Eagles playing against Tampa Bay, but here it is, the Eagles are really battered and bruised. You have to be really concerned, and I'm not saying this out of, hate for the Eagles or anything else. I hate to hear this. With Lane Johnson really must have gotten a bad concussion. Vomiting is one of those ones. It's kind of like when we were in Boy Scouts. Okay, here's how they told us in Boy Scouts, you're sure that a person has a concussion if they're bleeding through the ears, okay? I don't know that I've ever seen anybody bleed from the ears from a concussion. I know I had several myself, but I didn't bleed from the ears. If you bleed from the ears, it's really, really severe. But vomiting is almost as serious right there. And that may be a case where Lane Johnson may not be in there for a couple of weeks. You still have A.J. Brown who's dealing with some stuff. And I'm curious how Devontae Smith is after that cheap shot. That was a late hit that should never have happened on him. And you think about where San Francisco is. I haven't heard anything since Monday about Brock Purdy, having the tight back and things. But for a young guy to start having back issues is not a good thing. You've got Debo dealing with the calf injury. You've got Christian McCaffrey literally going to Europe to get a second opinion from a soccer doctor. They are battered and bruised. This is a crazy season, and this is why, it's too early to panic. But we may have to hit the panic button tomorrow night. We may have to. All right, you good people. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Miss Tracy is working on a special shirt for me for tomorrow, and I was helping her with that, and she just called up the steps, so it must be something went wrong on that, so I need to check and see, because we definitely need this shirt tomorrow. In fact, I think we're going to give away one of these tomorrow. See, I made the mistake of doing the assassin shirts. Micah Parsons, the assassin. I thought it was a great idea. But Micah Parsons has been anything but the assassin. You know, assassin, he slips in, he slips out, and kills people and things. You don't know he was there. We all know Micah Parsons has been there. We've heard Micah Parsons, so right now the assassin is not working too good. Maybe he'll get back to being the assassin, or maybe this is a case where teams have figured out how to defend against him and so on. But we'll see tomorrow night. So we'll be here at the Red Brick House. We'll be live streaming from here. And, you know, after last week getting our ass handed to us with the big sub and everything else, I got to try something different, man. I got to try something definitely different. But as always, you know how we roll. I appreciate you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. And don't forget, tell the people you love how much you love them. Because you might not get the chance again, and I love you guys.